Okay, there we Ah, what a dumbass. What's up, Echo? I was just asking. Well, I was trying to ask you, but I was actually speaking to nobody. I was asking if you can see and hear me, but the little ah, I'm so not good at this yet. The button that said click to add your audio and video, I hadn't hit that yet. So I was speaking to no one in particular. I think I'm gonna take these books I have supporting my computer for some reason down so you can see more of me. So I'm not a little tiny head at the bottom of the screen. Ah, there we go. That looks better. What's up, Echo? How's it going? Yo, Mr. Bones. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the hang of it. Trying to do like one thing at a time. Hold on a sec. Boom. There's the link if anybody wants to jump in. I'm not going to be on very long. I don't know if anybody else, I don't think anyone else is doing anything. At least not till like maybe 10:30 my time. Yeah, but I've been meaning to, as you can see by the title, I've been meaning to get a package from or place an order with Underworld Subroxxa for so long because I support what they do and what Rick does. I learned about them through Patrick Half Cheatable View through the interview that he did with Rick, and it's not the it's a good. I've got two good movies. I think. They're not like it's not the most typical order from them. Cowboy Bones, Space Cadet Echo. Okay. In that these movies are kind of probably readily available elsewhere. Okay, no problem, Echo. Yeah, take care of yourself, man. You got to take care of yourself. It's a funny time of year where the weather's changing, and I had to defrost my car this morning, and yet in the afternoon it was very warm. It's it's the time of year when it's easy to get sick. They still got the damn heat on at work, and by the time it gets to around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're like dying, sweating. Anyway, yeah. So I didn't order the kind of movies you might think someone would order from Underworld Subroxxa. You know what I mean? Like, I was actually going to get 1,000. What's that? 1,000 Tears? 5,000 Tears? I ended up watching it on Tubi. It wasn't really what I thought. I thought it was German for some reason, but it wasn't quite as bloody as I thought. I mean, it was pretty bloody, and I kind of liked it. I kind of almost forget about it already. I thought it was a grittier, grimier film for some reason. And then he has, I know he's a fan of the movie Headless. I've seen that. I enjoy that movie. I like that movie. And I know Hobbs just reviewed Found, which is the movie that shows them watching the movie Headless. So they're kind of related. So I thought about getting both of those. Those were a little expensive, for me. I mean, they're reasonable, but I'm just saying, I wasn't going to go with that price level yet. But yeah. Also, I just want to mention real quick, I've got all the Phil Stevens movies, so I'm probably gonna. I've been a lot of people reviewed Flowers. When a lot of people got in the community got into the Phil Stevens films. I decided to watch and review them in order, so I worked my way up to Flowers. But it's the kind of movie, I think it's going to be the kind of movie that I want to watch when no one else is home and no one's going to walk in and go, what is going on this? Why is there a dead raccoon at the table talking? Or whatever, that aardvark, whatever that is. And if anyone's seen Phil's Instagram, he's been working on sets for a new film, so eager to see what he comes up with. He's putting in the work, painting sets and stuff. So anyway, this is the kind of stuff that is normally you might think of to order from Underworld Subroxxa. I ordered some more conventional titles. Here's the package. As you can see, like I said, it's not huge. Got the tape on there. That's pretty cool. Let me get my scissors. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh boy, what's this? Sweet. Okay, there you go. Poster. There, that's how you do some marketing. I'll be hanging that up. Let's see. So let's see. Looks like it's a tad bit bigger than this frame. So I got to get some custom frames done anyway, because I still got to frame my Horror Bowl poster from Horror Bowl, which is just a tad bit too wide for those frames. I don't want to squish it. So, and let's see. All right, here we go. Hey, Professor. I started to watch your bonus martial arts video, The Clones of Bruce Lee. I might have that. I did. Sorry, guys. You guys don't mind if I take a little detour? Oh, where did I put it? I don't know if... Hold on. Darn. Okay. They're not with my action martial arts movies. They're not quite good enough to be there, but I actually found from the dollar store, I got a Bruce Lee double pack. And, I showed this in a previous live stream. One had 5 movies, one had 4. None of them had Bruce Lee. None of them were with the actual Bruce Lee. It was like you said, Professor, in your video, Bronson Lee and Bruce Lee, it spelled it with L-I, and some documentaries, yeah. So, yeah, not the actual Bruce Lee, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I've been mostly focusing on watching and reviewing horror movies this month, but I definitely want to get into some more action martial arts films. Oh, there we go. Not a sticker, little card. That's pretty cool. Upside down. Have you guys gotten anything from these guys, Underworld Subroxxa? Oh, there's a sticker. There we go. That's cool. Very cool. I've got stickers piling up. I got all kinds of things. I've got coasters. Boy, I'm really not good at holding things in front of the camera. Yeah, I've got tons of stickers. I've got to make some kind of a display or something. Anyway, Ninja Macabro. You want to own the Clones movie? Yeah, I mean, for $1.25, there's some decent stuff on there. I mean, I'm sure some of the documentaries are going to be okay. Some of them are, I remember there was even one on when I was a kid. It was a quick job, a cash-in job on Bruce Lee's death, and they were like, some people say Bruce Lee will return in 1985. And everyone in the hallways the next day was talking about it. It's like, yeah, hey, did you hear? Bruce Lee's coming back in 1985. He's just taking a break for 10 years. Anyway, but yeah, love some martial arts movies. I'll show this one first. I'm a huge Christopher Lee fan, although I got this from Blue Underground a while ago, The Bloody Judge. Have any of you guys seen this? I heard it's just like a kind of a rough one to watch. It's about a hunter, trying to prove that people are witches, and I guess it's just a rough movie to watch. So I haven't been in the right frame of mind for that yet, but I love Christopher Lee. This one I'm opening here, I've seen before. It was a long time ago. It wasn't even like, because now, I've been in a phase like I'm hunting down those, any like Hammer films that I haven't seen. Now I'm actually into the non-horror ones. There's some crime like ones on YouTube I was watching. I'm going to go back into those, maybe review some of those. But most of the major Hammer horror films I've seen, and I've started to pick up some of them. So years ago, I just said, "Oh, this is a movie with Christopher Lee. Let me check this out." I think I may have rented it from Netflix or something, the DVD. But it is The Devil Rides Out, a rare one where Christopher Lee is the protagonist. He is the good guy in this. And this is based on a novel by Dennis Wheatley, who wrote dozens of books dealing with the occult. And I remember really liking this. And I think it's the kind of thing I'll appreciate it a lot more now. I'll probably recognize a lot of the I'm going to flip it around here. I'll probably recognize a lot more of the cast now. You know what I mean? Hammer uses a lot of the same cast members. Oh, okay. So, La Fiancée du Diable, I guess. I don't really know. I guess that's French. The Devil's Bride. I guess that was the title. Let's say one of Christopher Lee's personal favorites. We got commentary with some film historians. We've got a little essay about folk horror. Audio commentary with Christopher Lee and Sarah Lawson, who's a star in the film. Obviously recorded some time ago. Black Magic, The Making of The Devil Rides Out. Dennis Wheatley at Hammer. World of Hammer episode Hammer. So I guess that's a documentary. So Devil Rides Out, pretty good. This was 1968, 95 minutes. Directed by Terrence Fisher. So he's, he was like the top tier Hammer film director. He was in good with them, not on a personal level, but in terms of business relationship. Then he was on the outs for a couple years, so he made some not great movies, but he kept working. There's a lot of Lee in that package. Yeah, speaking of one Lee to another, right? But and then he got back in their good graces and cranked out some work. But what a great director. Now I did recently watch what Chuck Norris movie is it with Christopher Lee is the bad guy? Force of One? Is that what it is? Was it A Force of One? Yeah, I did watch that. Christopher Lee and Bruce Lee together would have been something else to see. Now this next one, I'll set this up by saying this is directed. Oh, Nicholas Winding. I've never actually said his name out loud. Nicholas Winding Refn. Refn? You guys know who I'm talking about, the director. He presents this. This is an indicator. See the colored bars there? Indicator Blu-ray editions with special features. I'm going to set this up by saying this is directed by Curtis Harrington, who is a solid director. And the guys that, usually every month on Instagram, I'll tell everyone, put up a post about what the guys at Newcastle After Dark have on their channel. They put a movie on there every month. Last month, it was a movie called Ruby, or I guess this month, it was a movie called Ruby. Actually, they had a guest. They had Bill Van Ryn from Drive-In Asylum. And the Drive-In Asylum is the name of his zine. and Groovy Doom is the name of his YouTube channel. And they showed this movie Ruby, which was a made-for-TV movie with Piper Laurie and Bradford Dillman, and it was very 70s and very made-for-TV movie. And it was okay. It was entertaining. But a couple months before that, they showed Devil Dog, The Hound of Hell with Richard Crenna. That was also a Curtis Harrington movie. He directed a lot of very solid made-for-TV movies. And he also directed one. It's not super well regarded in the annals of made-for-TV movies, but I like it because of who's in it and just how kind of crazy it is. It's called The Cat Creature, and it's kind of like an homage to Cat People. It came out before the remake of Cat People, I'm pretty sure. So it was an homage to the ones from the 40s, and it even had the star of the original, Kent Smith, I believe was his name. He did a cameo, but that's a fun made-for-TV movie. It's pretty wild. But it's fun. But anyway, Curtis Harrington, he's probably best known for this movie. Anybody have any guesses? And really, I mean, I think this is on YouTube. I think this is pretty readily available. Again, these are not the titles most people would have gotten from Underworld Subroxxa. They probably would have went for some more of the hardcore stuff, but which I may do later. But this is kind of just what I wanted to get. Anyway, it's Dennis Hopper, Night Tide from 1961. Was she human, or was she a beautiful temptress from the sea, intent on loving, consuming, and killing? Pretty cool. We got some. Oh, okay, and then we got. They just show a whole bunch of indicator titles that came out on the indicator line. Mia Farrow, See No Evil. I've never heard of that. Oh, they got like a William Castle, several William Castle box sets. Ray Harryhausen box set. Uh-oh, I can get in trouble here. I can spend some money on this. Hammer. Okay, I've got a lot of those. Hey, Phil. What's up, Phil? Have you seen Night Tide? Or do you own Night Tide? Do you own or have you seen The Devil Rides Out? Just curious. Professor Macabro's never seen it. Okay. Yeah, William Castle, man. Fun. I went through Nope to both from Phil. Okay, interesting. Yeah. I've seen Devil Rides Out before. As I was telling everyone, I'm probably going to enjoy it a lot more this time based on who's in it, and I have even more of an appreciation for Hammer films and for Christopher Lee. And at one point, I keep saying this, but I got to get back into reading. So that would be a Dennis Wheatley book I would probably want to check out and maybe compare to the movie in a video at some point. But yeah, William Castle, Echo. I went through a whole phase a while back where I watched a lot of his films, and he was a cool guy. Now there is a lot of people don't know about it. There was an anthology series called. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I get this. Which one it is? Get it right. Okay, I think it was Ghost Story / Circle of Fear. I think it was that. I think that's what it was. It started out as Ghost Story, and then they changed the title, and they took away the host guy, and they called it Circle of Fear. I'm pretty sure that was a William Castle produced series, and he cameos in several of the episodes. And there's one with John Astin, who just had a birthday, 93rd birthday the other day. It's pretty incredible. Where he plays the owner of a movie studio that's going out of business. It's almost like he plays himself. And John Astin's the security guard, and there's some goings on at night that's the main focus of the movie. But William Castle shows up in a limo, and he just wants to get one last look around the studio, and they've got all these masks of these monsters that were in his movies, and he's reminiscing about them, and it's cool because it's almost like William Castle himself reminiscing about films, and I think the plot was one of his film creations came to life and was haunting the studio or something. Oh yeah, the old gimmicks. Now, one of the things I often like to go back to things that scared me as a kid. And I made a whole video about Tourist Trap, and I've talked about what was some of the other ones. Anyway, yeah. Another one that scared me was the Tingler. That got me as a kid. It was such a crazy concept. I think there's just one scene with a bathtub full of blood, if I remember. But that was one where I think that was one of his most famous gimmicks, where they stop the film and then say the Tingler's in the theater, and then they had some seats that were wired up that vibrated. That would have been like insane to be a 10-year-old kid in a movie like that, and to have them pull a stunt like that. You would remember that forever. Yeah, he was awesome. But that's the whole haul. I mean, all of 2 movies. But I'm actually putting some little bit of my budget aside for not a movie, but a particular toy from my youth, and it's a little bit pricey on eBay. So I'm kind of taking it easy on the purchases lately, and even the Dollar Trees have not been bearing fruit lately. So, which is probably a good thing, because I don't need to be driving all over the place. Let's see. The one gimmick, Echo says, the one gimmick I would never want to deal with was the smell-o-vision one. Yeah, I'd pass on that one big time. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to get into that. I know that what's his name? Help me out here. Pink Flamingos. John Waters. I know he had didn't he have a smell-o-vision movie? Like you had a card, a scratch and sniff card you were supposed to activate at certain times. I'm sure those smells were not great. Yeah, Phil, I like the movie Pop. Yes, there you go. Thanks for mentioning that. I've seen people review that lately, and they're like, yeah, it's okay. And it's not perfect, but gosh darn, it's pretty good. And it was fun. They revitalized the old theater and show flicks with all the gimmicks, and they see like little, they're showing like old 1950s monster movies, Got my horrified movie victims here. I was going to order some more of these, but pretty darn expensive. And there's one of the fake movies they have in that is about some kind of a smell, and they activate some stink bombs in the theater and gross everyone out. I really liked that movie. That was a lot of fun. It's cool to see Tony Roberts in a role like that. And I know the antagonist, I forget his name, but he sadly passed away very shortly after that. And I think he told the director that he wasn't going to be around much longer, and they kind of kept it a secret because of the insurance money. He was that Nervous Nelly type guy that was in Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood. I forget his name, but he was the bad guy in that. Yeah, I really like Popcorn. It's good, solid. The Smell-O-Vision one was that the right one? Pink Flamingos. Oh, they filmed it in Jamaica. Popcorn. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I thought they did a great job with the theater, the set. What was the girl's name? Jill Schoenlin, I think. She's from what? Stepfather. Almost had a brief Scream Queen career. That's hard to say. But yeah, she was good. I really liked that movie. When I first saw the ad for it, I didn't quite get it. They were what it was like. It was like heavy-handed narration. It was like, I don't know, what did they say? Like, buy it, take it home in a box, and they showed a box of popcorn. I was like, what okay, what's it about though? Yeah, Professor Macabro seen pink flamingos. He doesn't want to smell any of that. Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I haven't seen all those John Waters movies. I've only seen a few. I don't really know. Does anybody have any thing going on later tonight or this weekend as far as streamage? Are you guys doing your thing tomorrow night, Phil? I know it's been a couple weeks, I think. I'm gonna have to get Professor. We're gonna have to get you on sometime. We're gonna have to think of a topic to chit chat about. Let's see. What else did I watch? Oh yeah. Speaking of collaborations, myself and two other YouTubers are going to be doing a review of The Brain That Wouldn't Die soon on another channel. So I'll keep you posted on that. That should be fun as hell. I just rewatched that. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. It's a channel where we usually talk about like batshit crazy movies. And, we did an Ed Wood one once already. So I was like, you know what? This is like kind of like the low hanging fruit of batshit crazy movies. It's something it's part of my childhood. It was on quite a bit. Hey, Hobbs. Haven't heard. There's no UFC fights on, so I'm down. Okay, that's cool. Hopefully, you guys can get together, and I can tune in until I fall asleep, just like I used to do in the old days. I have not been keeping up on UFC. I used to be such a fan. Man, I would watch everything. I would watch all the pre-fight shows, the weigh-ins, everything, the post-fight, like every single bit. And now I don't even know the names of a lot of the champs. I just can't. I used to watch the other leagues too, the ones that people used to fight in before they got to the UFC. I used to know the names of people before they got in the UFC. I just don't have time anymore. But congratulations to Hobbs on your monetization goal. Hobster in the house. So that's I was glad I was able to stay awake for a little bit on Thursday when you guys had your little celebration. Usually when I disappear from the comments, that's when I fall asleep. Anyway, as long as we're all here, some of you may have seen my Instagram post. These freaking movies. This was an unexpected journey. I didn't even know. I got this from Hamilton Books a while ago. Prom night, 3 movies. Pretty cheap. There's only one DVD, so they're all on one DVD. It's the original Prom Night. Prom Night 2, Hello, Mary Lou. I had heard of it, and I had heard it was pretty good. I'd never watched it. And Prom Night 4, which is weird. Prom Night 3, I found on YouTube. And apparently, which one was the cut one? Okay, no, 4. So apparently this 4 is the restored R-rated one. There apparently was, or was that 3? One of them had a physical media release in the United States that was like a cut TV version, and it infuriated people because they didn't know. Anyway, what a journey! What a wild trip! I just couldn't stop though. I had to watch like one after the other. I didn't watch the remake though, even though I ranked them on Instagram. I watched the remake years ago. My rankings were number 1, Prom Night 2, Hello, Mary Lou. You saw it on its initial release. That would have been fun. Okay, now, I'll get to that in a minute, Professor. All better than that horrible, horrible remake of Prom Night. That's not how I ranked it. I thought I was, but I just went with my honest feelings. And in keeping with that, Prom Night 2 is my favorite. It was just the one that was most enjoyable for me. May not have been as objectively good as Prom Night, but I loved it. When was that? 90? It felt like in 80s. Was it 90? Darn Roman numerals. I just had a ball with it. I thought it was great. It just, the lightning effects from that time and their performance by who was that? Was it Wendy Lyon or Lisa Schrage? I forget. She was great. It was just so much fun. Michael Ironside was great in it. It had, and Phil, what a great Canadian feel it had. Michael Ironside, all of them actually kind of had that nice Canadian feel. The what is it? Part 3 had what was her name? Cynthia Geary, maybe, is that her name? The woman that played woman that played Ursula in Pin. She was in it. So there's a lot of recognizable actors in there. Yeah, I thought Michael Ironside was like, compare him to like Leslie Nielsen in the first one. He was like, had more to do. It was just a lot of fun. Second one is your fave. Okay, yeah, okay. See, okay, Echo, yeah. Part is less. Part 4. What the heck was that? What the heck was part 4? Anyway, let me keep going. Then my next one would be the original Prom Night, which I assume was going to be my favorite. I had vague memories of it. Years ago, I went back and I went down the list of slashers that I either hadn't seen or, watched when I was a kid and was barely watching. Prowler, Mutilator, Sleepaway Camp, The Burning. But I missed, for whatever reason, I didn't do Terror Train and Prom Night. Terror Train I saw on TV when I was a kid. I'd never seen it uncut, so I watched that, enjoyed it. Prom Night, very vague memories of. Watched that. It was okay. It was pretty good. I mean, it just wasn't the greatest. It was pretty good. I don't know. It's not my top 5 of slashers from that era. I just rewatched My Bloody Valentine, another Canadian classic. Boy, that's way at the top for me. But yeah, Prom Night was okay. So Prom Night 2, Prom Night 3 was fun. So 2, okay, yeah, Professor, yeah, it's the most fun. It's close, you know what I mean? But I think 2 is just like the most fun. So the third one was also fun. It went into comedy. And like the thing is, like, I still haven't sat down and watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 start to finish. I've never done that because I couldn't get my brain around the tonal shift. Enough time has passed where it's time to do that. I've been doing that with movies that I've had like kind of a grudge against for reasons. Like The Fly 2, I just, I was like, well, it's not as good as the first one, so I'm not going to watch it. Well, I finally watched it because decades have passed. And it was good. What was I saying? What the hell was I saying? Anyway, back to Prom Night 3. It was pretty good. Tonal shift. Yeah. So it had a tonal shift. It was a comedy, a different girl playing Mary Lou. She was good in this movie. It was a different Mary. It had a different feel, but she did a good job. Also, this is the one that has Ursula from Pin. And it also had, I thought this was funny. Speaking of The Fly, it's like all Canadian movies tonight. It also had George Trevallo, who was in The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, the arm wrestling guy who had his arm snapped. He was a heavyweight boxer. He fought Muhammad Ali, and actually he lost, but he actually hurt Ali pretty bad in that fight, even though he lost. And there's lots of goofy characters. He's a science teacher who's constantly stuffing his face, and Mary Lou conjures up an ice cream stand and stabs him with ice cream cones, and it's very goofy, but it's just fun. So that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's definitely like a comedy. So then my next one, believe it or not, is the Prom Night remake. It was close, even though I haven't seen it in a while. And to be honest, I probably won't see it again. It was just, to me, it's just kind of generic and bland. And you can make good PG-13 horror movies, but it was just bland. And then my least favorite is Prom Night 4. Like, what the heck was that? Just weird. I mean, they 4 characters skip the prom, so they say goodbye to the high school in the beginning, and they go to hang out in a place that used to be a monastery. And then there's a backstory about a priest who went nuts and killed some sinners, and they locked him in a basement for 30 years. And the only thing that happened was his hair grew long, but his face looked the same. And then he got out, and he went back to his old monastery where they initially had him locked in a basement, and he started killing people. And it's just got random weird things that happen. Another victim shows up, and it's like, how did it even get there? The driver drops them off, and the camera lingers on his face, and it's half in shadow and for like 5 seconds. Was that supposed to be like a red herring or something? And then he drives away. The characters walk by a painting, and the camera stays on the painting for like a couple seconds. It's like, what are you showing me here? Like, what is going on? Anyway, it was weird. The music was generic, kind of bugged me. It wasn't the worst movie ever, but it was weird. Plot wise, it was all over the place. Anyway, that's my rankings of the Prom Night movies. Have I seen the April Fool's Day remake? No, I have not. I should probably check that out. I don't love the original one. I have fond memories of watching it one afternoon after school on VHS with some buddies of mine, so we did enjoy it. But I have not watched the remake of that. Yeah. Captain Hobbs of the USS Boglin. Yeah, that Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou would have been fun in the theater. A theater in Los Angeles just showed it. Who is that Instagrammer? She's like a big 80s fan. She had dresses like in the 80s. What is her name? Maria Grace, I think. Grace Maria, something like that. But yeah, she's all about the 80s. So she saw it in the theater recently for the second time. Yeah. I think in the back of my mind, I knew that there was a remake of that, but nothing is. I haven't had the overwhelming urge to watch it. Professor says would rather have weird bad than bland bad. Yes. Why the remake is dead last week. Yeah, I get that. It was very close. I really thought the remake was going to be last, but it just bothered me. Like, I was like, why did they make these decisions? A Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, has a religious feel. What? I mean, not every bit of the other ones made sense. Why was Mary Lou's like soul in a trunk in the theater room? I don't think she was in theater, but whatever. It was in the high school. It was all in the high school. Had a great high school feel, the whole movie. The third one had some weird things, but it was a comedy. And then the fourth one is just so weird. I don't mind nude scenes, sex scenes, but the director was a little weird about it, I think. It was like the sex talk. I'm going to tell the nun what we were doing in my car. And it was weird. It's weird. But yeah, normally I would agree with you, Professor, on that. I saw, what did I watch? Oh, I had the poster behind me in my other room when I was in the other room. The Pet Sematary remake I watched. I got that on a 4 from Hamilton Books. It was on a 4 movie set with, frankly, 3 better movies, probably. And I think 3 movies that I've seen: Crawl, Overlord, and I think it was A Quiet Place 2. But it was okay. They did some different things, obviously, very different things. So you got to give them credit for that. It wasn't a shot for shot remake, that's for sure. It was just, I don't know. It was okay. I didn't really feel that into it, really. Wasn't that really engaged, actually. Did you guys see that Pet Sematary remake? Now, question for Professor Macabro. Have you seen, we watched it on the Ocean Chicks channel one time, is it Night of or House of? Darn it, I always mix this up. I think it's Night of 1,000 Cats. Have you seen that film? Mexican film? That was like that's got some weird stuff in it for sure. That's a strange one, but it's a fun one to watch though. And if you guys don't have any other questions or anything, that's going to be about it. I got the house to myself tonight. You can say that you've seen it, or can't. And I think it's on Tubi if you're interested, but it's a wild one. I couldn't get over, by the way, filmed in Mexico. I know there's scenes around Acapulco. The guy flies a helicopter around. A lot of the characters wearing like long sleeves, long pants, like fur coats. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know that it ever got to the temperature where that, you would be dressed like that. But that was interesting. I might be going to Mexico, by the way, for a work trip in, I think, July. Not sure yet. It'll be at a resort area, but it might be an experience. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably gonna watch one of these tonight. I think probably watch. Oh, you mean you can't? Okay, that's what I thought you meant. I thought you meant. Now, if it's not, oh, you know what? Hold on. Just look it up. I know if you put the wrong title, like I did. No, I don't want to watch Deadly Blessing. Why is that coming up? I watched Night of 1,000 Cats. And there's like directed by Rene Cardona Jr. There's a scene where somebody sets an Olympic record for throwing a cat. I mean, he grabs this thing and he throws it like you will not believe how far he throws this cat. It's like a little creepy. I'm not saying this is the greatest movie in the world. It's got some weird stuff in it though. Now, I know you've talked about that, Professor Macabro. Rats, Night of Terror still holds up. I need to see that. That was on I like rat movies. Whoops. You saw even my for my Hot Wheels race, I picked that one car called Ratmobile that looks like a rat because I wanted to have some cars that were like an homage to old monster movies and things. And I know that is directed by Claudio Fragasso, and he's the guy, the infamous director that directed like Troll 2, and has directed dozens of movies under different names. But my understanding is that one is pretty good, and it may not be all about rats, but I don't know. But I need to watch it. I do enjoy rat movies. Oh, it was also on Dr. Gangrene's Halloween Countdown last year he had, not this last Halloween, but the one before that, I think he had Rattober. I think he had 13 days of rat movies, and that was one of them. So I definitely want to watch that. And I think JT, JT's horror, he's trying to interview. I think the one girl from movie Demons, was also in that Rat Nights of Terror. He's trying to set up an interview with her. So that would be interesting. But yeah, I definitely need to watch that. But all right, guys, that's going to be about it. I will talk to you guys soon on the Instagrams and the interwebs, and look out for my Instagram. I'll give you some more details about where you can watch my review and laugh along of The Brain That Wouldn't Die with my collaborators. And then I will probably review some non-horror in this next month, which starts tomorrow, of course. And I guess we'll find out tomorrow who the horror YouTuber of the month is. Okay, so best of luck to everybody else that was nominated. I mean, you can count the votes on Basic Autumn Wing Queen's channel, so it's not going to be like a surprise, unless there's a last minute write-in campaign or something. But it's not going to be me, and I'm 100% fine with that. 100% fine with that. So many people deserve it. Anyway, I'll check everyone out later. Take it easy. Have a nice night.